Hello, my friends. It's your buddy Phil here. We are members of a leadership institute called PLI, and we meet every week. We talk about things of interest. And one of the topics that we've been talking about is the stress, the pressure, and the duration towards getting PMP certified. So I'm a poster child for spending all the time in the world to prepare. And don't ask me why. Maybe it's direction, but I spent 6 months getting ready for my PMP exam. I started in January of '05, February, March, April. I got to April and I started second guessing myself. Am I really ready? So I started giving myself excuses. Anyway, finally, I got so fed up. I got to June 25th, '05, and I took the exam, and the rest is history. And I'm grateful to my mentor, Mary Hirschner, for getting me to where I am. But each of us have a story about our duration. So when we hear people say, I spent 2 weeks in getting ready for the PMP exam, or I spent 2 weeks getting ready for the CAPM exam, it gives me a little bit of cause for concern about the impression that we're giving the world in terms of preparing for this exam. To me, I know that they're geniuses, as Lara was alluding to. They're people who are just mad. It's not even really smart. They're just gifted. Maybe they're prodigies. I don't know what to say, but 2 weeks. First of all, knowing about the exam, just the knowledge about the exam. And you folks tell me if I'm wrong or right. Just the knowledge, getting to know what the exam entails is like a degree program in and of itself. Would you agree with me? What do you think?
I'll definitely agree with
Absolutely,
you.
bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Phil.
So
I think
how did
I
you
think
know
it was.
about the enormity?
Oh, go ahead, Daryl or Laura.
I didn't know about what?
The enormity of the exam, like the PMP is a
Oh
beast.
yeah.
So how long did it take you to absorb the length and the breadth and the dimensions of the exam?
The fact is, PMP is very, very wide and it cuts across so many things. So I won't say I even knew everything 100%. And it's not possible for you to say, okay, I know 100% about the PMBOK guide. And so it's so difficult. And for you to say you wrote the exam in 2 weeks, like it's something that, is catchy and you want to watch it, that how did you do it? So it's kind of like this narrative to drive traffic and increase traffic concerning your video. That's what I think, yes.
It is catchy. It is catchy. It's not sincere though. It's not honest, because just knowing. So Lara, you tell me, how many weeks had elapsed before you knew people, process, business, and everything that it entailed? How long would you say?
Oh my God, I would say like 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And even not the day of the exam, I was still like, oh, I didn't say this. I have to know this. So difficult. Yeah.
And you were in class with me like over a year ago, and it didn't take us mere days. Even with a very experienced instructor, you went through every bit of the weeks of our class. And how long
Yeah.
did it take finally? When
It took a month and I had to take an extra 2 weeks for
to 6
myself.
weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So 6 weeks, because I had to really understand everything through and through. So yeah, and I'm still understanding it, so it's quite, I don't know.
It's big,
What
it's
else?
vast. Ed, what do you have to say about, the 2W club that, and I think it's becoming more prevalent, but what do you think, Ed?
Well, Phil, I wanted a six-pack abs. And so there was this infomercial that I seen that it told me in 5 minutes I can get my six-pack abs. Well, Phil, 5 minutes ago, I still have no six-pack. What I'm saying here, Phil, is that, for those individuals that really have put in the work, because the PMP exam or the CAPM exam is not set up for an individual to, yes, it builds off of your experience as a project manager, but there's also book work because there's templates, there's ideology that you haven't leveraged in a while, because your company may not do it. Your company may do it different. That's why the PMBOK is considered as a guide. It's a standard guide that universal we all can use. So now you got to come back and learn all of those universal principles again, because as you grow through your career as a project manager, we all know that sometimes you forget about the small little things that you used to have to do in the beginning, because they just come to you now. And so when I hear that people pass it in, or study and pass in 2 weeks, first of all, congratulations to them on doing that. But if are we here to just be interested in becoming a exemplary project manager, or are we just we're doing this just because it sounds good? Like, we're here, the people on this particular call, we're here because we really want to improve and have an impact in the project management field. So we're not just here just to show up and say hi, we're here to influence. So that's my piece, Phil.
Thank you, Ed. And Daryl, I know we worked together like 4 years ago, or even 5 now, but do you have any comments to share before we go back to our friend Lara for more commentary?
Oh yeah, Phil, just to shed more light with what Edward and you were talking about. I'm one of my clients once told me, asked me about my PMP. Am I a PMP practitioner or a certificate holder?
Ooh.
And that's what made me understand that, do I practice my profession, or do I just take courses online and try to be impressive on LinkedIn and my resume? So as far as the 2-week people out there, yeah, more kudos to you at the same time, but not many people are wired that way. To be honest with you, if you cannot sleep at night, I would pick up the PMBOK guide and read it, because you would probably sleep about 5 minutes after reading the PMBOK guide. I wish it wasn't so dry, but at the same time, it's something that you really have to fine tune your study habits and take away your bad habits as well.
Oh, you cut out for a second.
In regards to obtaining the information from.
Oh, I get you. You're back. Well, thank you for that, Daryl. That's a very good advice. Lara, you want to talk to us about your opinions about this 2-week thing?
Yeah. Also, I wanted to point out that it took me 6 weeks full-time learning, because I really dedicated my time to reading and preparing for the exam. So it was full-time for me. Like, I wasn't doing any other thing. That was all I was doing. And I have friends that also took the exam and took them 3 months, 4 months to write it. So yeah, 2 weeks probably, as just like Daryl said, but yeah, it's a bit far-fetched.
It is far-fetched. And let's show people the facts about why we say it's far-fetched. Here are the facts. First of all, before taking an exam, any sensible professional should spend time really learning about the exam, understanding it. And you heard what Lara said in the beginning. That time spent understanding the exam is definitely going to take days for some people to get the enormity of it. For some people, it's months. So anyone coming into the exam, we want you to know that if you have this expectation, it is not realistic. It is an anomaly. Could people have done it in that time frame? Highly unlikely. But if there are some people who are prodigies in that regard, then think about this. They had to understand the exam. They had to get audit ready. It would be foolish to take an exam or even try to embark on an exam without getting audit ready and making sure all your ducks are in a row. All the people from your past are available to sign off and say, yeah, Phil really did all this stuff. Thirdly, past experience counts. So I really want to drive this home. When you find people getting certified quick, because it does happen. Some people, they get certified in the blink of an eye, but don't forget past experience. Case in point, I had a student. His name is Parmeet, and I talk about Parmeet all the time. Parmeet approached Praizion on a Thursday night and said, I want to get PMP certified. Oh, really, Parmeet? Obviously, you must have experience because it sounds like PMI have already approved your application. Yes. Where did you get your experience? Well, I did project management in my master's degree program. Okay, so you're not brand new. You have some knowledge. That counts for something. But Parmeet had not been for any PMP training. He came on our system on a Thursday. He studied 12 hours Thursday to Friday, another 12 Friday to Saturday, and another 5 or so from Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday took the exam. Passed the exam. Never been for PMP training, just went on our learning management system. But he had experience in the banking industry doing project management, and he also had experience as a student of project management. So anyone discounting that is not being realistic. Also remember that there's eligibility criteria. The PMI's turnaround time just by itself is 1 week. That also counts for something. Also bear in mind the PMI approval process also has 35 contact hours of training. That counts for more than a week because very few people can do what Lara did, like studying full-time. If you're full-time, then you went for a 5-day course. Yeah, you can get 35 hours of training. But if you got the 35 hours of training previous, that counts for something. And lastly, the mock exams and the studying, it will be foolhardy for anyone to just jump into the exam without doing those. So with all of these points raised, my friends, the general consensus from us who are PMPs, and we've been certified between us for years, some of us 2, 3, I've been certified for 18 years. And I can tell you, I've seen a lot of people try to do this quick, but they crash and burn. And as Daryl's colleague said, are you certified really as a paper pusher, a certificate holder, or are you a practitioner? And honestly, to be a practitioner, I really think you need to uphold the profession. I think you should give people realistic expectations of the profession. And I think you should also help PMI in keeping the integrity of this exam. It does nothing for you on your resume, even if you got certified in 5 minutes. It does nothing on your resume for people who said, I only spent 2 hours on that exam. So what? Where are you 5 years later? Do you even recall one question or one domain from the whole experience? So I want to encourage you, those of you who are thinking of taking this exam, don't feel dumb, don't feel stupid, because some people say, Phil, I feel so daft, all my colleagues are certified. No, we all have our individual journeys to share. Any final comments before we round up, my friends?
I would say anything worth doing at all is worth doing well. So just be kind to yourself and take the time to study it properly instead of trying to achieve it in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Thank you, Lara. That is such good advice. What is worth doing is worth doing well. Thank you all very much. If you got comments, ideas, you got questions, we want to see it in this video below. And if you're keen on knowing more about our organization, Project Leadership Institute, just go on down to youtube.com/@Project Leadership Institute. Thank you, my friends. Talk to you soon. And as I said, my amazing friends here, we meet on a weekly basis. We talk about technology. We talk about leadership. We just got done with our session talking about how to be a real success. For those of you who love the work of John C. Maxwell, we are combing through this content. And we are making sure that we are doing our due diligence after PMP, not just to check the box and say, yeah, PDUs, but to really to really enjoy it and get something from it. All right. Well, thank you, my friends. Talk to you soon.